All right, let me ask you something real quick. How many containers are you running right now in your home lab? Is it 5, 10, 20? And be honest, how many of them actually make your life easier? Because here's what I've noticed. A lot of us get into Docker and it starts out simple. You spin up Plex, maybe Pi-hole, maybe Nextcloud, and before you know it, your home lab turns into this collection of random containers running on random ports, and you're the only one who knows how it all fits together. And even then, you kind of don't. So in this video, I want to do something a little different. I'm going to show you 5 underrated Docker containers that don't get enough attention, but they can completely change how you manage your home lab. No flashy tools, no hype tools, but tools that actually solve real problems. And we're going to talk about what they do, why they matter, and how to actually use them. And yeah, we'll spin some of them up together, but real quick, if you're into Linux, Homelabs, and actually understanding what you're doing instead of just copying commands, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe. It helps more than you think. All right, let's get into it. So before we jump into the containers, I want to zoom out for a second because this isn't really about Docker. It's about how you think about your home lab. When most people start out, the mindset is, I want to run some cool stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But over time, that mindset creates something else. You end up with no centralized logs, no monitoring, no real organization, no idea what's broken until it's really broken. And I've been there, trust me. You log into your server, something's not working, and now you're digging through Docker PS or Docker logs, random configuration files, trying to remember what you did 3 months ago. And that's not a system. That's controlled chaos. And eventually people hit one of 2 paths. Path 1, they over-engineered everything, just straight into Kubernetes and burnout. Path 2, they stop improving and just live with the mess. And there's also a third path, and that's what we're doing today. We're going to start thinking about your home lab like a system you can observe, manage, and trust. Now, here's the question I want you thinking about while you're watching this. If something in your home lab breaks right now, do you know what broke, when it broke, and why it broke? Most people don't, not because they're not smart, but because they don't have the right tools in place. And here's the deeper point. The tools you choose shape how you think. If you only run the application containers, you think in terms of apps. But when you start adding monitoring, logging, dashboards, automation, now you start thinking like a system admin, like someone building infrastructure. And that's the shift I want for you. So let's get into the containers I wanted to cover. Now, the first one I want to talk about is an easy win. Uptime Kuma is a self-hosted monitoring tool. But what makes it different is it's actually approachable. You don't need Prometheus, Grafana, or 15 configuration files. You just spin it up and start adding services. And now you can see, is your Plex server up? Is your website responding? Is your API alive? And most importantly, you get alerts when things go down. And this is one of those tools that changes your behavior because instead of reacting to problems, you start anticipating them. Next up is Dozzle. Let me paint a picture. And you're doing this. Then you switch to another container and you do it again. Then another one and you do it again. Dozzle solves this for you. It gives you real-time log viewer in your browser. So all your containers in one place, searchable, clean, and fast. And it connects directly to your Docker socket. So no complicated setup. This is one of those quality of life upgrades that you don't realize you need until you have it. Now let's talk about homepage. And I did a full video on homepage. I think I have a configuration file out there on my GitHub page, but this is an awesome addition to your home lab. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. It's just a dashboard, but it's not. It's structure. Right now, most people access their home lab like this through bookmarks, maybe IP addresses or random ports. That doesn't scale, especially when you have a lot of services. Homepage gives you a central dashboard, group services, status integration. And when you combine this with something like Uptime Kuma, now your home lab actually starts to feel like a cohesive system. Now, we got to talk about Watchtower because this one can help you or hurt you. Watchtower automatically updates your containers. Sounds great, right? But here's the catch. Not every update is safe for all your services. So if you just let it update everything automatically, you're rolling the dice. So instead, use it intentionally. Notifications only, schedule updates, or specific containers. This is where discipline matters. Another container that's super awesome and very underrated is glances. Sometimes you don't need a full monitoring stack like Grafana, and you just need to answer one question. What is my system doing right now? Glances gives you CPU usage, memory, disk, network, processes, all in one place. It's super lightweight, no nonsense, and it's perfect for quick visibility. All right, so let's quickly spin something up right fast. And we're going to deploy Uptime Kuma because I haven't did a video on that yet, and Dozzle using Docker Compose. And if you haven't already checked out my Docker install script on my wiki page, I'll have the link down in the description of the video. You guys can download it and install it directly on your Ubuntu server. Super quick, just by running the script and get it installed. This will install Docker and Docker Compose for you guys. And all you have to do is create you a folder and then create this compose file. And let's type in nano, and then let me go down and paste in this compose file information. And as you can see, we'll set up two different services. So we'll set up Uptime Kuma, and then we'll also set up Dozzle, and then let's wait for this to come up. Now let's go down and access our services. All right, so let me just cut out my Docker Compose file so we can pull up the ports, because I don't think I showed you guys the ports that I use, but I use 3005 for Uptime and then 8087 for Dozzle. So let's switch back over to the browser, and then let's go on and open up our ports. And you need to know what the IP address is of your server. So I already know what it is. So this is 58 on my network. So 58, and then ports 3005 for Uptime. Let's go down and get in there, and then let's go and set up our account. So you select your language, select your username. I'm just naming KIT, and then go down and select your password right fast. And actually, I'm gonna put Josh up here because I think I'm gonna keep this one. I'm gonna replace my old one because I had another one on here before, and I'll use this one as my main one from here on out. This is Uptime Kuma, so you can go through and add your sites. So for instance, like we can add our wiki.js site, the one you guys just seen right here. So let's go on and add that one, just see if our site is down whenever it's down. So we're gonna drop the URL in there, and then I'm gonna just put wiki.js in here, and boom. And then heartbeats, retries, we can select retries or whatever. I'm not gonna go into the advanced settings, but you can verify the certificate, you know, when it's expiring, ignore TLS, SSL. I'm just leave all that basic, but we're gonna go successful, and it'll just check and just verify that with our wiki.js site is up, which I could have put wiki.kitpro or something up there. That way I know what that site is. I'll go in and modify this as I go, but it'll check every 60 milliseconds if that site responds or not. And it's basically sending out pings. So like I said, this is an awesome addition to your network. Now also, let's open up another tab and go to Dozzle. And like I said, same IP address. So 10.10.58. And then let's add the right port. So that's 80 and then 87. Press enter. And there we go. So we got Dozzle, and this brings up all of the services running on this server. And as you can see all my services that are running. And I think I ran a couple of them just so you guys can see, just to look at the logs, but you can look at the logs right from here for everything on this host. And it's different ways to actually look at it. You can look at it from the right. You see everything that shoots up to the right, you know, how it just the little bar goes to the right as things are being used as far as resources go, or you can have it show like this. You see how it's going up and down as far as the board graph. And then you can also look at a specific service and just see the logs that are coming through, like errors, like worker timeout right here, worker exit. But yeah, you can go through and just pull logs for everything in your network. So as far as Docker containers. Now let's talk about stuff people don't say. More containers does not mean a better Homelab. In fact, it can mean the opposite, because every container adds complexity, maintenance, and potential failure. Also, Docker doesn't replace good practices. You still need backups, documentation, awareness of your network, and automation. Automation without visibility is just faster failure. If you want to level up your Homelab, start doing this. Go down and add tools when you feel pain. Keep your setup organized. Use environment files. back up your volumes, test what happens when things break, and most importantly, understand what you're running. Don't just copy commands. So here's the takeaway. These containers aren't meant to be flashy, but they're the ones that make your home lab. They're easier to manage, easier to understand, and more reliable. And if you start thinking this way, you stop chasing all these different tools that you see in a bunch of different videos and start building systems. And if you got value out of this video, go down and hit that like button and drop a comment down. And let me know, what's one underrated container you think people should be using? I might feature it in one of my next videos. And I hope you guys have a wonderful work week. So keep learning, keep exploring, and of course, keep it techie. Peace. Yo, what's up, y'all? Listen, if you've been sitting there thinking about making a move, let me tell you, tech is where it's at. I don't care where you coming from, whether you've got a degree, a GED, or just pure hustle. There's room for you in this game. You see, tech is more than just keyboards and code. It's solving problems, creating opportunities, and building the future. You already have what it takes because tech doesn't care where you start. It cares where you're willing to go. You can teach yourself Linux, learn Python, break into cybersecurity, or even launch your own app. And the resources are out here for free. And yes, you heard me, free. Now, yeah, it's gonna take effort. You'll have to grind, but think about this. The time is gonna pass anyway. So why not invest it in a skill that'll change your life? I mean, tech doesn't just pay the bills, it opens doors to freedom, stability, and generational wealth. So stop doubting yourself, start small, stay consistent, and keep building. Because this isn't just a career, it's a movement. And guess what? You belong here. So let's get it, because the future is yours to build. Keep it techie.
Yeah.